Hi there, Eric Dean here. We have another video for you today. This time around, we're not going to do a presentation or explain about our ministry or life at Lapilo, or even our family life. I want to do a short video this time about the country where we serve, Papua New Guinea. Now, PNG is an amazing country. I've lived there since 1994. I've been to a whole bunch of different places around the country, and it is just an amazing place. It's unlike any other country that I've been to. And it's always been a bit of a challenge even to communicate, what is it like to people here in the States or Canada. What is amazing about this country is it's just the diversity that you find in the country. Now, we live right now up in the highlands, and so you have mountains that go up to 13, 14, almost 15,000 feet, huge knife-edge ridges, huge broad valleys at 5,000, 6,000, sometimes even 7,000 feet, just amazing beauty. And then you go down to the lowlands, and it could be 100 feet and really hot and really humid, but beautiful, absolutely gorgeous flowers and trees and whatnot. And then obviously it's an island, so there's beautiful coastlines in the tropics, so there's coral beaches and turquoise waters, coral reefs all over the place. So it's just an amazing place. But it's not just obviously the topography, the geography of the land. It's the people. And there's a wide variety of people in PNG. You go like, oh, well, they're all look basically the same. And it's like, no, they don't. You have some people like in Malamanda. I have a friend named Zacchaeus, and he is a wee little man. I mean, he's not much higher than my shoulder. And yet there's other people in Goroka where we live now, where there's these great big huge guys and everything in between. There's some people that would even be more like Polynesian looking in some of the islands areas. So you have this huge diversity. Now, when I'm talking to people in the States about, okay, what is PNG is like, I mean, one of the normal things that probably anybody who's watching this video and has seen one of our presentations has heard is Papua New Guinea is roughly the size of California, but there's 830 different distinct languages and cultures. Okay, which is, I mean, it's all true, but I've just noticed when I'm looking out in the audience, it's just like, whoa, okay, get this glass look, and they really have a hard time tracking with that. And that's understandable, because like in America, in the United States, we have one country, and we have basically one language. You have English. Now there's like Hispanic, Spanish-speaking cultures within it, but that's a minority language. Or you go to Canada, and Canada would be English and French, okay? But still, it's like you go places, and it's like you just speak English wherever you go, and you don't necessarily hear French spoken at all, especially in British Columbia, where Judith is from. So it's one country, one language. And then even if you go on to Europe, you go to France, and they speak French. You go to Spain, they speak Spanish. There's Basques there as well, but or like Germany, they would speak German. There's different dialects, but it's basically one country, one language. And we have that mentality. So how do we fathom, how do we comprehend that you have Papua New Guinea is one country and 830 different distinct languages? What would be the official language? Would it be like the largest of those 830 languages would be like the dominant language for the whole country? And that's not the case. Now, what's interesting is the official language of PNG is English. Now, that came about because of the Australian influence in the country in the early exploration and development of the country, and all of the initial schools and the government offices and whatnot were all done in English. And so that's the official language. And it makes it very easy. We go into the capital, we go into towns, and for the most part, we can speak English to people, and they're comfortable enough speaking English. But lest you think that, oh, we can just have an English ministry and be able to share the gospel with the different people of Papua New Guinea, that's not quite the case. There's quite often, even when we're in towns, where people know English, but that's not necessarily their language that they would normally speak. and you start speaking a little Pidgin with them, and then they're like, whoa, okay. And then they launch into Pidgin, and they just stay in Pidgin with you because that's what they're comfortable with. So the official language is English, but the trade language, the common language that's used throughout the country is Tok Pisin. It's a Pidgin language. There's a whole history about it that I won't go into in this video. But pretty much anywhere you go in the country, you can use Tok Pisin, and you can communicate to any tribal person in any location. And that's a wonderful ability, wonderful gift that we have in language, but it's also it's not the heart language of all of these different people groups that are found in the country. So we use that for chit chat, we use that for discussions, and we have outreaches. Even in the local community, we have workers on our center, and we do teaching with them on a weekly basis quite often. And that would all be in Tok Pisin, in the Pidgin language. And that works fine, especially people in town are really good at speaking Pidgin. They understand it. There's a Pidgin Bible, so they can be reading in the Pidgin Bible while it's being taught. And so that works fairly good. But where it doesn't work very good is when you get out of town and you get out into the various villages, the various people groups that are found in the rural areas of the country. Recently, I found a couple different pictures of the people groups that depict the people group locations in Papua New Guinea. Now, the first picture there it doesn't necessarily help a whole lot, because it actually looks to me like there was like a kindergartner with a bunch of crayons, and they were just going crazy with different colors all over a map of PNG. And you can see, well, there's a lot of different people groups, but it's still rather hard to fathom. Okay, so then I found a smaller picture of just a portion of PNG, and tried to, then figure out, how does this fit into an area of land that we can imagine. Now, I'm in Oregon right now, and so like the whole state of Oregon can fit inside of Papua New Guinea. And then if you even take the northwest corner of Papua New Guinea, it'd be like 150 miles by 150 miles, a square chunk of land there. And then you go, well, how does that fit? How much of like Oregon would fit into that same area of land? And so if you look at the picture there, where it's on the top left, you have Astoria going down to about Reedsport on the Oregon coast, and over through Eugene, roughly over to the Bend area, and then straight up. Basically the Willamette Valley with the coastal range over to the ocean, the Pacific Ocean. That whole chunk of land, if you were to transpose that onto Papua New Guinea, then there's that other picture that says in that particular area, there's 100 different languages and cultures. And this is a place that I've gone to numerous times, not to all of those places. There's the vast majority of those tribal groups I've never been to. But we work as an organization in several of those key areas, key tribal groups, and have brought the gospel and translated the Word of God and seen a church planted and established. So you have a place that for us is not terribly big, but you have 100 different distinct languages and cultures. And so that's the challenge, and also the opportunity that we have in a country that's as diverse as this, to be able to go in and see, these people need to know the Lord, and this is where they're at, and then we can get teams together and to be able to go in and engage with those people, learn their language, learn their culture, and then be able to present the gospel and to see a church planted there. So hopefully this has been a little bit of a help. Some of the pictures and whatnot make it a little bit more tangible. If you have any other ideas or any other questions, then you can always get a hold of me either in the comments section or just shooting us an email. So thank you very much for your time and your attention.